right, welcome back. Today we are going to talk about the surface area and volume of a cone. Okay, so let me make this picture a little bigger for you. And a cone, as we have here, remember it's going to be kind of like a pyramid in that it comes to a point, a peak, but the edge is rounded. Okay, if we look at it, it's rounded, and that's because the base, unlike on the pyramid where it had like a square, triangle, something like that, this base is a circle. Okay, so if we think about it, if we unwrap this, we know there's going to be, the area of this base, okay, plus whatever's here, the flat part. Okay, so let me make this smaller, and it's very similar, the area of our pyramid, so you don't necessarily need to write this, but if we remember, the area of our pyramid was half times the perimeter times the slant height plus the area of the base. Now in this case, the perimeter, instead of being a square or a triangle, we have a circle, so it'll be 2 pi r. That is the circumference of that circle. So instead of a 2 or a p, we can put 2 pi r in here. Okay, then instead of b, since the area of that base, it's just going to be pi r squared. Now notice if it's half times 2 pi r, those 2's will cancel, and we're left for the surface area. It's going to be pi r L, which L is the slant height, plus the area of the base, which is pi r squared. Meanwhile, your volume of your cone, once again, very similar. When we had a pyramid, it was 1/3 times the area of the base times the height. Once again, that area of the base is pi r squared. So we will have 1/3, so the volume will be 1/3 pi r squared times the height. And that's all there is to it. So take a look at this first picture. And we have our cone here with a radius of 3. So if you want to mark these down, radius of 3, the height is 4. These are meters. And the slant height would equal 5 meters. So if we plug it into our formula, remember it's pi times the radius times the slant height plus pi times the radius squared. So pi times 3 times 5, I don't expect you to do this in your head. In fact, I'd be pretty surprised if you do. Instead, just go to desmos.com/scientific. So pi times 3 times 5, that gives us 47.12. We do it again for pi times 3 squared. To save us a little time, we get 28.27. We add those together, and now here's what I want to make sure you know. Surface area, which means if it is surface area, whatever our label is squared, so meters squared. Now our volume will be 1/3 times pi times 3 squared, so pi r squared times the height, which is 4. So if we go to here, 1/3 times pi times 3 to the second times 4, we get 37.699. If we round up, 37.70 meters to the third. All right. Our next one, once again, a cone. Still got a circle on the bottom. If you want, you can write down your radius is 3. Your height is 8. Your slant height is 8.5. Okay, so now surface area, we'll use the same method. So once again, it's pi r times L. So pi times 3 times 8.5 plus then pi r squared, so pi times 3 squared. If we do that, we'll get 80.11 and 28.27 again. If we add those two together, we will get 108. Oops, wrong decimal place. So 108.38 millimeters squared. Meanwhile, the volume, once again, 1/3 times pi times r squared, so 3 squared times that height, which is 8. If we do all this, 75.40 meters or millimeters cubed. Okay, one type of cone I want to look at. One final problem. On this one, we don't have the height. Now, in order to find the surface area, we don't need the height. We could still solve this. Okay, we can just do pi times radius times the slant height plus pi times the radius squared. Okay, so that's fine. We can do that. 188.50 plus 113.10. We add those together, 301.60 feet squared. However, to find our volume, we have to do 1/3 times the pi times 6 squared times whatever the height is. I don't know what that height is, but if we think about it, if this comes down, the height forms a 90-degree angle. And now hopefully we can see what shape we have there. We have, oh, that was not good. Let me make that a little neater. We have a right triangle. And we know that this side is 6, this side is 10. We want to know what that height is. What is x, or what is that height? Hopefully you remember a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And in this case, c has to be the 10 or the hypotenuse. So x squared plus 6 squared will equal 10 squared. X squared, 6 squared gives us 36. That will equal 100. We subtract the 36. We're left with x squared equals 64. We take the square root of both of those. X will have to equal a positive, so x equals 8. That is our height. And if we want to label it, the height is going to be 8 feet. It's just a distance. There's no square because it's not in there. So if we go back over here, and instead of the height on the end, I'm going to change that to an 8. And now we can finish it out. So 1/3 times pi times 6 squared times 8. And we get 301.59. If we round 301.59 feet to the third, you'll notice these are almost identical, 301.60, 301.59. That's just coincidence. That's not always going to be the case, but in this case it was. So please complete the It's Learning assignment. Tomorrow in class, we'll do a review on the computer. If you need any help, please reach out. Let me know. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys soon.